we'll get rolling here. How are you?
I'm great and terrible.
Okay.
Um, Very
I
excited to be here.
yeah.
My duo paid for this for me for a birthday gift.
Well,
Um,
happy belated birthday, I guess. How was it?
Thank you, thank you. Good birthday for the most part. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Do you remember that Genji main you coached this Monday?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
probably don't because he quit Overwatch last week.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Lovely.
and canceled his coaching with you. So that's unfortunate.
It happens. It happens. It happens. There's nothing like a birthday present that says "Happy Birthday." You should get better at the game. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
okay. Let's
Uh,
uh let's let's roll it.
okay.
Let's take a look here. I've been watching a lot of free educational Overwatch content, including yours. Obviously, has been wonders for me. I've seen some improvement, and I've been able to identify some of my mistakes on support and tank. I can't seem to figure out what I'm doing wrong with DPS though, so I'd like guidance on how to play the characters I play and want to focus on improving on those characters. So you're playing a little bit of everything and want to focus the session on DPS, yeah?
Yeah, I play all the roles because I just like them. Within those roles, I play a couple specific characters. I play Ball and Doomfist for tank. I play Venture only for DPS, and support I play Ana, Zen, Baptiste. Um, about those, I with support I was Bronze 5 at one point, but I watched a lot of content, including yours, and I've seen my rank go up a lot.
Good.
Um, Same with tank. I went from silver to diamond on both those roles.
Yep.
DPS, it's been very strange though. Uh, since I started, I've basically one-tricked every DPS at some point in time for like 8 to 10 hours, except a few that I really hated.
Love that.
And I found that I liked them, but I didn't find myself coming back to the game to play those. So like
Yeah.
I one trick Bastion. I placed Plat 5 after 10 hours of playing him, and I've never touched him again. And
Yeah.
it went the same for every character until they released Venture, and then I could say, like, here's a character I love.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I'm seeing Reaper and Venture. Okay. What about Adventure appeals to you?
I really like mobility. I just you could probably tell from Ball and Doomfist. I really like that. Um, Otherwise, I'm not sure why Venture stands out to be so much more than a lot of other characters. I put Reaper on the form. That was Cope. Um, Reaper's a lot of fun, but I like Venture more. So whenever I play Reaper, I feel like I could just be playing Venture.
Yeah, makes sense.
Um,
Makes sense. Yeah, the differences are pretty slight. I find a lot of the times. I feel like maybe with Venture you have the opportunity to kind of go deeper with flanks more often and or
yeah,
more mid-range poke, but less tank pressure. But like it's similar playstyle loops for sure. So yeah, it makes sense. Um, but you are aiming for essentially
I
long top 500 all rolls. Essentially.
yes, that's what I put on there. But I did some thinking, and I still agree with what I put there. But
Yeah.
I want to clarify that goal. I only play this game for fun. But what
Yes.
I love about this game is improving.
Yes.
At some point in time, I watched a little too much Samito. I got frustrated, and I started playing to win. And I hated this game so much. I almost quit a few months ago, but then I watched some of your content, and I focused back on improving, and I fell in love all over again. And I realized I need to keep improving, or I'm gonna hate this game.
Right.
Um,
Right. Okay.
and I
Okay.
think do that for a couple years, and maybe I get top 500. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care as long as I get better.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I think the interesting thing you said there is like the improvement aspect is what made it fun, and then how quickly your mentality pivoted just from the culture that you were like surrounding yourself with. I think
Yep.
Samita's a smart dude and a good dude, but he is like that's kind of his
Yes.
spiel is raging. So like it
Yeah.
is kind of the fun, and so like if that is fun for you, then roll with it. I personally find it really funny. But
Oh
obviously if
yeah,
that's
he
not
makes
you,
great
then
content.
that's obviously if it affects your enjoyment of the game. Now, what's interesting for me is that like you put it in the form that you're like top 500 is kind of a crapshoot, but it's just a good long term goal for me essentially.
Yeah.
So maybe you've dialed back the realistic aspect of that, but also that's probably still sitting in the back of your mind. Is like, that would be cool. You know what I'm saying?
It would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep going here. So play around 8 hours a week, mostly on the weekends. Yeah, how does that work for you?
Yeah, I play a. I heard in one of your videos you talked about this. You know, young people, they go to school, they come home, and then they play video games all day.
Yeah.
I'm exactly like that, but I play a lot of video games. So, you know, it's really like, what are my friends doing on any particular day? And if they're not doing anything, that's really my opportunity to play Overwatch.
Yep.
So that's where my 8 hours fit in. So it's kind of random. I know you've said like it's best to schedule out a time every day where you're going to sit down, play for a few hours. I haven't done that.
Yeah. You don't have to, I think, is the way to look at it. I think what it is it's like, if depending on how serious you are about it, that is an additional variable to consider. I work with a lot of people that basically exclusively play ranked in stacks. I work with a lot of people that exclusively play ranked on like Saturday, and that's literally it during the entire week. So it's not necessarily like you can't enjoy ranked or you can't improve if you don't check these like very official perfunctory boxes. It's just that you need to be aware that that is a disadvantage. So you might not improve at like the optimal rate. So don't set unrealistic expectations. I also work with a lot of people that play all roles and play like 5 or 6 heroes per role, right? I worked with somebody just this week who has a hero pool of legitimately 18 heroes. And so we talked about that, right? And we talked about maybe they can narrow that down to like 14 or 13, but if that's like, they clearly really liked doing that. It wasn't like a necessity. It was just, they really like doing that. And you're kind of like that too with playing a little bit of all roles and swapping around. So it's like, you don't have to change that, you know? There's a lot of flex players out there. I think Yeatle is somebody who's more of a flex player right now. You know, now the way he's doing it is very different, right? He's kind of alternate one-tricking heroes. Yeah, exactly. Kind of similar to what you said you were doing earlier.
Yeah.
But like Yeatle is not exactly. I don't see Yeatle hitting GM1 anytime in quite a while, as long as he's on this content grind. Maybe it's with a tank hero that he's already good at, or the tank role because he's just more natural for him. But like, he's just probably gonna get to around GM5, GM3, 4, Masters 1. I think he hit Masters 1 or 2 with Widow. I don't think he hit GM, right? But that's fine for him, right? And that's kind of where you're going to be at probably as well. So,
I would be fine with that as long as I'm improving.
Yeah,
great. If it's on a lot of heroes, awesome.
Well, that's also the kind of the other way of looking at it is it's like, because you're kind of spreading yourself, not thin, but you're alternating from role to hero to hero. You're kind of in an endless improvement loop, right? Because like you're always like you're resetting the scale and going back again, and that's a really cool way to like learn more. Just about the game in general. Like there's endless nuance and details to find out. And so like I'm with you on that, and I think that's a really fun and an admirable improvement goal, and I think you just roll with it. The only thing that you make sure, which you seem to have done quite well, is that when you are focusing on a role, the hero pool is smaller than the role, but that seems like preaching to the choir here. You talk about basically just venture. So
yeah,
we're cooking with that.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to go back and ask one more time. You kind of have moved on from Reaper, but in the forum, you were pretty adamant about adding Reaper. What changed?
So, on the forum, I was just being stupid. I bought the Reaper Mythic, and I don't want a one-trick venture, because I get very frustrated on a lot of those long-range maps, like Circuit Royale, where I feel like I just can't do anything. I'm looking for that short-range off-angle, but I can't find one.
Yep, understandable.
So I wanted to add another hero to that, and I've never managed to make it stick, I think because I just didn't enjoy them that much.
Yeah.
Compared to Venture, at least. And I was hoping, because I bought the Reaper Mythic, the fact that I spent money on it would make me want to play Reaper.
Psychopathic behavior.
Yeah, it didn't work. That didn't work either. So here I am wondering, like, I've been playing a little bit of like Ashe and Soldier on those maps, and I actually wanted to ask you, like, do you think I should try to learn to play those characters just on those maps, so I have something? Because I love Venture, but I don't love Venture on those maps.
That's the answer. That's the answer. So yes, you should. Because you didn't say I can't play Venture. You said I don't enjoy playing Venture on those maps, right? And that's all that we need to know. So the answer is yes, you should pick up another character. Even
Okay.
if it's just for those maps. What the character is, well, I mean, you know my answer to that, right? I have no idea. It's your call, right? So,
It's gonna be Asher Soldier.
all right.
I'm
So Asher
confident.
Soldier is fine. Works for me. Works for me. But yeah, totally fine. Um, I'm trying to think of the equivalent whenever I was doing. Yeah, I mean that's totally fine. That's totally fine. No problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Now, playtime. What is that looking like at the moment?
That's still about the same. My
Yeah.
college classes got tough, but I gave you a conservative estimate, so I
Gotcha.
think that's accurate. It's
Gotcha.
still
Okay.
8 hours a week, kind of sporadic.
Okay. That seems fine. And goals, like let's say right now, at the time of the form, you were diamond. Are you still diamond?
No, I dropped on all rolls.
Okay. So where are you at now?
I'm like I'm clinging on DPS. I'm like bottom of Diamond 5. On
Yep.
support, I think that one's fine. I had 4 levers during my first 4 placement games,
That'll happen.
and I've barely touched support since then, so I think that's just low.
Yep.
I do need to work on my Ana, but I mean, after 40 games, I had a 70% win rate on BAP. I think I'm okay there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that
It's
keeps
fair.
up.
Yeah.
And then on tank, what happened was I was fine. I was diamond until like. So I was playing Doomfist in quick play, because I'm not good at him, but I wanted to add him to
Yep.
my hero roster.
Yep.
And then I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day, and I was infused with the power of every top 500 Doomfist, and I was mystically good at him.
Oh.
I can't explain that, but like, I went from feeling very awkward playing the Doomfist to I felt like my mechanics just became smooth overnight. I was still bad at Doomfist, but I started playing him in comp. So I dropped to like Plat 5, and then I watched some of your videos on Spylo 2 or whatever your second channel is called, and I climbed back up for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for
Of course. Of course. And
Great
also
advice.
good on you for getting some good sleep. Like legitimately, that's literally how sleep works. Like I'm sure you're aware of that,
Yep.
but
Yep.
literally
I
installs
learned that a while ago.
it installs it, right? I mean, I had the exact same thing when I think the most visceral moment for me was when I was hard grinding the Sombra rework, and I had a really difficult day mechanically and like strategically, and I just was like, I tried to I kept a really good attitude about it, and I kept cracking at it over and over and over, but it felt like hitting my head against a brick wall. I was trying different things and this and that, but I was like, you know what? I'll figure it out. Don't stress it. I was like 3 or 4 hours straight ranked. Went to sleep, woke up the next day, won almost 20 games in a row. It was like I went like 17-3.
I
and
better
it was
do
just
that after this coaching session.
okay. Yeah, no pressure. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much how it goes, right? Because it's like what ends up happening is that you have a concept in your brain, okay, that you've been taught, either self-taught or taught from external resource. You then drill that concept for a day, days, weeks, and so on. It becomes challenging practice over and over and over and over again. Failure. If you're able to keep the good mentality with it, you've downloaded it. Eventually, you're going to turn that from unconscious or conscious thought into unconscious execution, and then you're popping off, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's obviously the goal with all heroes. So good. I'm glad to hear that. And obviously, like the ultimate goal for us is going to be giving you some of those conscious thoughts for, I assume, Venture today.
Yeah, I'd like Venture. I've also got something for Ashe if you
Sure.
want to look at that.
Yeah, we will probably will have time to at least give you a couple of details there. Okay. I'd like to add Reaper in Hero Venture. I feel like I've never had good mechanics. I don't think that's my issue. I think I fundamentally understand the role of DPS on the team, or might just not be thinking about the right things during and after fights. Okay, so DPS is the simplest role in Overwatch. It doesn't mean it's the easiest, it just is the simplest role because you only have one responsibility and one responsibility only, and that is to pressure the enemy team. That's it. Things have to focus on pressuring the enemy team, but with the thought process of preserving that attention for longer periods of time and not taking too many resources. Support has to pressure the enemy team while also enabling pressure on their team. DPS only has to worry about pressure. Now, ultimately, what will likely end up happening is you will end up functioning in some aspects like a tank. For example, the Kevster principle with Tracer states that when 2 or more people are giving you attention, your priority becomes to live, not to kill.
Yeah.
Right? And that rule applies to really all heroes in Overwatch, support, DPS, or tank. So things like that are very pertinent to your character, especially when you're playing a flanker, because you're going to get attention. That being said, for you, it's going to be pretty much just like, am I getting the maximum amount of pressure output while demanding the minimum amount of resources? And that's pretty much it. That's it. So how you do that with your kit, we'll talk about the fundamentals of that. And I'm sure you've seen some adventure videos already, yeah?
Yeah, I've watched some of your venture coaching.
So,
I think I have a good idea
yeah,
at this point of what to do with venture. I'm a little more confused about Ashe.
makes sense. So what we'll do is we'll find out where your understanding of venture and your execution of venture, where's the gap there? And then crucially with Ashe, maybe just some understanding, right? Maybe just some understanding as well.
I think I might need that.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions before we get into gameplay here?
Yeah, can I stream for a second?
Go for it.
Can you see?
Sure can.
So, like, is this normal? Let me go free cam here.
Mm-hmm.
Is he supposed to go through me like that?
If his momentum carries you, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they can squeeze through you with
They can
momentum.
sometimes, yeah. It depends on if his jump momentum is leading him forward, yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to know, when you pop out of the burrow, do you lose your hitbox? I think you do.
What do you mean pop
You
lose
know?
your hitbox? Like pop out? Like what?
So you come out of the ground, right?
Yes.
And that spot might have a person standing there. I think you lose your hitbox for a while when that happens. Or like your collision. Sorry.
Yeah, your collision will send you up and knock them out of the way, correct. But I'm not sure exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
I also
well,
have
you
sub
answered my
80
question.
IQ, so there you go. Perfect. Now I have one more question for you because
Yes.
I need your correction here. Stop using overbuff statistics. They don't work the way that you think that they do. All right, teach me. Teach me, Unc.
I watched a video about this,
Mm-hmm.
calling YouTubers out. Like, overbuff statistics is based on people who've logged into overbuff, which is a
Correct.
very small quantity of people, like
Right.
really small. So sometimes you see like, okay, X character has some pick rate or win rate, but it's literally only one person that they're
Gotcha.
getting that statistic.
So you're saying the cross section is so incredibly infinitesimally small that it is not
Yeah.
going to represent the average player base. Okay. Okay.
Especially for like certain ranks, if you look like at a specific rank, you might genuinely see Moira's win rate is 60%, but it's just one Moira player.
Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. The developers have said globally the overbuff win rates and stuff are relatively accurate. I think it was a few months ago they said something like that, but I'm certain
Yeah.
like within specifics, it's probably not 100% accurate. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, let's jump in here and send me code. We'll start with Venture.
Okay. I think I'm gonna send you. I've got a Blizzard World one. I was having trouble playing Venture here because of
It's a bad
the
map.
range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I also played Ashe here,
Good map.
but yeah, good. But I think I
But it's
actually
Ashe.
did worse on Ashe.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's Ashe, so it's not your.
I'm kinda
it's not your
bad with
forte.
her, but-
yeah. Can you see stream here?
Yes, I can.
Lovely. Let's take a look here.
So
The thing with Venture, and this is kind of where you're going to have to, like, we're just going to go and give you the short of it really quick. I want to focus on the Venture aspect first, is
Okay.
when you're playing on a longer map, most Ventures that I work with don't flank enough. Okay, so you obviously don't always have to flank with Venture. You treat it just like a tracer, like you take a short angle and you poke, right? Like you're familiar with that concept. But the problem is on a map like this, the reality of the situation is that the map is going to be so open that those short angles are essentially non-existent anywhere on the front line or even the mid line. You're going to have to go
flank.
deep. You flank, right? You utilize your shields, you utilize your heal passive, you utilize your incredible mobility relative, and you flank. So I'm not going to immediately assume that you weren't flanking enough here, but I will say that that's more often than not likely going to be the problem with Ventures in situations like these.
okay.
So,
I think
for
I'm
example,
gonna go point.
yeah, so for example here, so this is fine. You're a little slow on the recognition, but I'm glad to see it.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to really like, okay, what's a flank, what's an angle, right? I would say for just to be, I love the white borders, but I don't know why they have like white health now, but they do. Anyway, for our definition here, a flank is going to be anything that's deeper than, let's say, 90 degrees, okay? So let's just pretend that this is still an angle, okay? This is fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to go deeper because you already have good damage and good cover and a health back here. So your job is just to shoot from here, okay? You're familiar with the whole concept of like passive value with Venture, which is just hold the angle and shoot, right? If they push you,
That's
use
what I'm
cooldowns.
going to do for a little bit. But they're going to rotate away from me.
The biggest problem here and why this has not gone well is because you were late to the party. You didn't recognize the angle, and you were also the last person out of spawn. So if I look at this here, a good wizard of adventure, right, would have not only drill dash, but you would have burrowed immediately as well. You need to burrow. You need to move faster.
Yeah.
You burrow.
I think I should have thought about it while I was dead.
Like, I agree.
Am I gonna go?
I agree. Like that's the Spyloism in a nutshell. Where should you be between fights? Like that's, if I could boil down Overwatch in a nutshell, it's that right there. So the problem here is you should be poking realistically now. All right, so you're poking now. You're already applying pressure on Mei. You push Mei out of the angle. Maybe you can greed on the EDRA turret as well. Like there's just pressure to be had here. Like, so beyond hit more shots and or get here earlier, I don't really have any feedback here. The only feedback I would add in addition to that is as they rotate away from you, I actually didn't think you need to back away. So if they rotate away from you, this is when you can even find a squeaky angle to get even closer, go for a combo, then burrow. Because the problem with this here is this, it's not that it's bad, it's just not much of an angle, right? See, the problem here is exactly. So you've recognized the problem here. They are no longer playing my effective range. Most important thing is that you're down your Bastion, so everything that you do here is probably going to feel bad, so don't take this to heart if this fails. But the only solution here, reasonably, is what?
I think I gotta go, like, behind them or forward.
I think you gotta go.
No, I'm down my Bastion, I can just wait, I think.
I think you can go. I think you can go. I think you're thinking, I can wait for my Bastion. That's fine. But you can go in a way that's going to set up the flank in a second. So how would you look at this? Like, let's say you wanted to take the fight now. What would you do?
I would walk forward, go slightly to the left so I can shoot that Kiriko. I've got the statue for cover. I think they're going to pull back to help. So then I would run behind them to that Mega.
Yep. Here, or honestly, frankly, probably here.
That
more
one.
cover.
That
yeah.
one
Agreed.
I like that cover more.
Agreed. This is where you could even do something if you want to get a little saucy with Venture. This is definitely where we break the mold, right? You shoot, you burrow, and then you pop out burrow here, and then decide what to do from here. Okay, so then you
my drill dash.
Right, you introduce the value of verticality with your drill dash essentially. So you can, if you have, let's put it this way: if you have verticality, you can actually engage with burrow. That's the rule. If you have verticality, you can engage with the burrow because this is your disengage cooldown and plus your drill dash as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think here it's like, it's that you kind of get somewhere caught in between. You don't really think about offensive pressure. You don't really think about holding your angle either, and so you kind of do neither. Okay, so we're hustling. I really, really encourage you to roll out Max, right? Like, this needs to be burrow immediately, now, like right now. Go. I just got a Twitch subscription. What the frick? So yeah, just set up the angle right now. Go. Don't waste time.
Bank.
Yeah, exactly. $3 is mine. I think it's $3. It might be $2.50. Knowing Jeff Bezos, it probably is. Too far? Not going to work.
Yeah, this angle sucks. Go somewhere else.
Decent.
And I need to go.
And it's a weird use of the cooldown, but like at least you close the distance, right? Like,
yeah.
And you're not cooked here either because you're going to have drill dash and you're going to have verticality. So this is where you got to make a decision. What do you think?
It'd be nice if I just went to the high ground here, like you talked about.
I agree.
Burrow.
I agree.
I could hit the people in the Kitsune and then shoot them.
Yes.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. This might be when I go point.
Right, so you're not sure if you're going to do the thing here. But yeah, going point's fine too, honestly. But I prefer here just because it's damage. It's value right now, and it's safe because you can have drill dash too. And you also need to like capitalize off of the distraction value. I used to abuse this all the time before I really had the passive advantage idea. I'd engage with CDs, run around, and then pop out and leave, right? You need to do that here. I think there's huge value to be found here.
Yeah,
I don't hate this. I really don't hate this. I think this is fine. That is what I do hate.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake, right? So you even greed your drill dash just a little bit, like you get the cooldown here, so you get like just a little bit of extra in case he commits. But yeah, you've really done a good job here. Like you've created a lot of space. The problem is now you're kind of cooked.
I just need to
right?
live.
Yeah. So this is the Kevster principle that we're kind of talking about, right? Where you're now tanking essentially. There's a lot of people here. Right. You've done your job. The Nano Orisa plus the Venture, like on the backline, your team is going to win this fight. Like you guys are in a really good spot to win this off of what you did. So like you did a good job.
I'll say in the moment.
There you go. Finally.
This relates to some other stuff earlier too. You talked about Bastion. Like I was making a play when my Bastion wasn't there. I didn't know he was dead. And similarly here, like I just didn't know what was going on.
Like at this very moment.
No. When I went point, sorry.
Oh,
when I
see.
Point, like the reason I committed with my drill dash there is because I thought I was 1v1ing the Genji, and then I watched 4 people spill around the corner, and then I died.
Well, the key question is just not whether you misread the situation, because I understand that crucially. Like you need to be aware of how many people are on you at all times. Yeah, that's true. But why drill dash this guy anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like look at his HP.
Yeah, I also
And he's mid deflect too, right? So like this is just a misread of the situation. It's the same thing that you would do if you committed a dash with Genji on an Ana who's full HP, right? And it's even worse with Venture because you don't have wall climb that can maybe bail you out. In addition to that, the value of dash is that it can force them to move their crosshair, right? Drill dash doesn't. Drill dash keeps them in front of you, so it doesn't even dislodge their aim all that much. It just screws you up.
So I should have stayed on the high ground here, yeah? Don't drop.
No,
don't
I think even dropping so that you could get an angle to poke was honestly fine. Like I don't want to overthink this. Just keep shooting. Just go. Oh, he's deflecting, so I'm going to shoot and back towards cover. And then if he keeps coming after me, then you can use your drill dash.
Okay.
Like this is just a bad one. So this is like it's representing in bad Kevster principle concept, but like you just shot your drill dash into a full HP deflecting Genji.
Yeah, that's
so like if this was a 1v1, if he hits shurikens, now you're cooked because you can't disengage so many.
Yeah, I have nothing.
Right? You have nothing. So this, regardless of whether it has help or not, it's not going to work. You actually min-maxed your rollout for once. There you go. Love to see it.
And then I proceed to AFK. Well, I guess I'm waiting for cooldown.
No, this is fine. This is all good. I don't like where you. I don't know. I don't like where you drill dashed to. Or burrowed too, like you should have held the angle, like hold out this way. Yeah, well, that or just go deeper on the flank. Don't go to your team. This is not safe. This is like really scary, right? But this is all fine. Like I don't have any complaints here. Like you're a little early, but that Genji's pushed so far forward, and you're creating space out of the choke. Yada yada yada. Hold the angle. Hold the angle. This drill dash is a little bit more reasonable because he's at least not actively deflecting, right? So yeah you've burned your defensive cooldown, but for once this guy isn't popping deflect. So. Good. So now you win the 1v1.
Nope.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? You did win the 1v1. You didn't kill him, but you won the 1v1. Right, you pushed him out.
I got the space.
This is good. I like this rotation. Yes, it's very, very reasonable. And then now you're like, all right, what's the next step?
I think I'm going to try to go behind them.
Yeah.
Here,
yeah, you need to wait for Burrow, but yeah.
I might do some stupid stuff in getting there, though.
I feel like you're gonna drill dash and burrow from here, which is insanity. But yeah, if you poke here,
I believe that's what
I would either wait for burrow, and then use your drill dash, and then just like wait for here, right? Or even here. Or you could drill dash this way and angle from here instead. This would also work.
You know what else?
There you go. You're
that's
wizard.
Not too bad. Okay, I didn't do something crazy.
Yeah, this is good.
What I was thinking is from that high ground, I could just walk to behind them from the stairs, right?
Yeah, you could.
Just go here.
Yeah, you could.
Even farther behind, like to the right there.
Yeah, you could. This is just becomes. Yeah, absolutely. You could drop here, and then you could unironically drill dash out this way, and then be here, and with your burrow from here on this corner, be fine. Yeah, totally fine.
That's a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good option. I think this is totally fine. And then this is where you're going like, all right, well, I want to deepen my angle here, so you're actually gonna burrow on the corner. You're gonna use that to take high ground. Yeah, I mean this is solid. Like I'm weeping because this hasn't been here for 3 minutes essentially. Like the slow rotation, squeezing, taking space. Right. See, this is like where like the risk is very palpable. Right. Like this is crazy. I'm not gonna lie with you. But I mean, come on, you gotta live a little. Look at her HP. You get what I'm saying? Like I get it. Like you just missed the primary fire. That's all there is to it. And so it's fine. Even here, right? Like, if honestly, if I'm here, if I'm you here, I think I pop here, and I think I just hold here and I just rip the ult, frankly. I just rip the ult. Zone backline and rip the ult from here, frankly.
Okay.
So I actually think
because
the only...
they get the ult.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, you're actually cooking here. The only mistake is you didn't press Q. That's it. The only mistake.
Yeah.
Yep, you did a good job. This is a good fight from you. Like by far your best fight.
I can do it sometimes.
Yeah, and it was just good because of your rotations. Like, you just kept rotating, you kept rotating, you utilize your verticality, right? I mean, you got to remember that your verticality is a defensive cooldown, right? So,
very much so.
Yeah, this is great. This is fine. This is fight-winning angle here. Good burrow. I actually love that burrow from you so much.
Thank
I
you.
mean, classic Venture ult moment, right? But unironically, like, that's solid stuff. You pop one, you force an ult. You actually got solo ulted. I don't know if you realized that. So... actually based from you.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, solo ult, force shield, rotate, push forward, and then you end on an angle, and then you also force her to drop because she would have gotten railed otherwise. You hold the angle, you poke, and then if they push you, which she's stupid enough to do so, this is exactly how you use drill dash, and now she's cooked. So you're gonna die here potentially, but oh my days, it's totally fine. Yeah, this is a freaking brilliant fight from you. What a like honestly. Like, this was perfect Venture right here. Good stuff. Really, really nice.
Ow.
You took the angle.
Okay,
you shot. Like, okay, let's break it down, right? Like, let's not just sit here and criticize. Let's be as methodical with our praise as we are with our criticism. Not just to be nice, but so you know what you need to replicate. Okay. You press Q on an angle, from an angle, well timed, on a corner with a cooldown about to come up. Okay. So you're on an angle. Yep. With cooldowns and cover, okay? So you don't hesitate. You let it rip, okay? Never hesitate with Venture's ultimate. Take the angle, go. Now, right now.
Okay.
Because what you do is you immediately put them in the hole, and you also give yourself the shield HP so that you're safe, okay? So you pop 2, 1, 2, you get Suzu. Turn Rhine shield. They pop ultimate on you, you get another shot out. Doesn't get any hits, fine. You burrow when they give attention to you, and you go, okay, look at me. But you don't just back up. You actually deepen your angle, but in a way that where they can't punish you anymore. And even if they did, you still have a defensive cooldown here. You see this?
Yeah.
So you let another shot go, and then you go, I could commit here, but there's nothing low enough to justify. Right. There's nothing low enough to justify that, right? So instead, I'm just going to poke. Good use of cover. Idiari goes, okay, well, I can handle you. So she pushes in. This becomes where high risk, high reward is the play. Now, you could argue you don't need to use drill dash here to kill her. And that's true, but the drill dash secures the kill 100%. There's nothing that she can do. So I'm okay with that. So you're here. You're low. Burrow immediately because you know you're in the open. You then not only burrow to pop for damage, but you actually end up back on the high ground, back on cover. Then you hold the angle and poke. Yes, and the only reason that you dropped is because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to commit with drill dash here because... he's low. He ends up not being low, but then you see an opportunity to get more shots, and then you get the combos. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You did a good job with your angles. You played your effective range. You didn't just primary fire. You used your cooldowns either to secure high ground or to secure kills. You didn't open. You secured. That's the key thing. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
The last 2 fights have been really good. Same thing here. Like, it ain't rocket science, right? You get to the angle, you don't have a cooldown, but you have cover, and you're about to have one, so you just shoot what's close. You prioritize squishies. Here, you actually don't even need to go deeper. Ryan's 1 HP, finish the angle, and finish him off. Yes. That being said, this is also not a mistake, because you're also going, hey, spooky. Again, you do what we asked you to do here, but you failed to do. And you use your cooldown to deepen and also take a deeper angle, right? So this is your defensive cooldown. All you need to do now is just shoot, and you win the game. You've done really well. Good stuff.
Awesome.
No major feedback here. So replicate that more. Deepen reach. Commit your dash when you get somebody low. Commit your burrow when you have a high ground to end on. That's it.
Okay. This is about where I felt like I had trouble though. Range here.
Yeah. So this is when, I mean, obviously they're down one here, but like, this is fine. Like, their range is also limited as well, and there's not a whole lot they can do here. Like, this is, like, if you can't win this, you know, go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, go home. Like, this is fine.
go home? What do you mean by
As
that?
in you suck, right? Like respectfully. Like
Oh,
if you
okay.
you
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
that
I do.
you set yourself up for success, right? This is a Spilo moment, right? Where
Yeah.
you make the right decision, but you just fumble the bag mechanically, right? But this is fine. Like this is I have zero complaints with this setup. This is interesting because I guess the question is more like, what do you gain out of high ground here?
Angle and Juno. And
Sure, but don't you already have the angle in Juno from here? You kind of see what I'm saying?
I don't like this angle because she's just gonna. If she backs up a little bit.
So
then
you
I
want to
can't
pursue?
shoot her anymore.
You want to pursue then?
I want to be like a little closer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is fine. Gotta quietly point out that you guys lost a 5v4, but that's okay. It's fine. You went for the more passive approach, but, you know, it's honest. It's still good Overwatch. Yes.
Should I just
Good.
hold
Good.
from,
Bad
like,
angle.
behind them?
Bad angle. Yeah. Bad
Yeah.
angle.
I should have
drop.
gone behind Kiriko and.
Right. You got it. Doesn't matter that much, but yeah, it's worth pointing out. Okay. Yeah, go crazy. Good. Yep. Sure. Go sure. No complaints. It's just a question. It's again another one of those situations where like the drill dash opener, I'm okay with it if you're like he's not deflecting, so I can just mash him. But just be careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just mechanics, right? Like, you put yourself in a situation to where he had to dash in on top of you. You still had drill dash. He should probably not win that most of the time, right? Equally skilled Venture, equally skilled Genji. Venture comes out on top there. So yeah, good.
Okay.
Yep. Continue to make space. Continue to rotate deeper. And then from here, honestly, just start shooting right now.
Yeah.
I think now
hope
you're
I do
lurking.
that.
Yeah, you're lurking. You're lurking too far, right? So the reason why that matters is because, you know, uptime, yeah. But also, like, if you're going to go, you got to go. Like, you got to commit to backline here because now you're kind of hovering. And so then you're caught without an angle outside of your effective range. And frankly, you're dead here. So, yeah, and that's pretty much all there is to it. And then you're going to swap to Ashe, which I actually think is pretty reasonable here because the angles here are a little bit more awkward. So I actually, like, for Venture, like,
It was also the cast that.
Yeah.
I really struggle against cast.
Well, okay, so
I was,
your options here are just super limited, right? So it's like there aren't a lot of angles here, and so yeah, it's totally fine. Like
it's that combination of things.
Well, then that's fine, right? You're talking about what I would describe as at least a medium counter, if not a hard counter to Venture, in a pretty unfriendly point, right, in terms of space. Crucially, because there's no verticality on the back half of that point. That's it. So that you should probably swap.
Burrow to high ground thing.
Correct.
So.
Correct. Exactly. Correct. I mean, it's the same thing with Genji, right? Like Genji would struggle in that exact same circumstance for the exact same reasons. So, okay. Yeah. Let's. I want to look at a little bit more Venture. So send me another Venture code. Let's get like 5 more minutes maybe, and just get a couple more fights in.
I have one where I'm just getting dumpstered by a cast, and I have one where I'm doing great. Which one? I
want to see you get dumpstered because we've seen where you've done great, and we've seen why you've done great.
That's what I thought. Then here's me getting rolled.
This one's you getting rolled here.
Should be.
Okay, let's find out.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious if it's a bad map. Nope, this is a good map.
Yeah.
So that's good. Because that simplifies things here. Still, you know, Cassidy's Cassidy, right? But okay.
Yeah, I gotta be careful of him.
Okay, I'm a fan already. I'm already a fan because you think about it. What are your options? Well, this is a little open, a little too far. Your alternative is somewhere here. This is probably your safer short angle. Like this is probably good. But if you're gonna go deep, like you can't beat this, right?
And can I ask your opinion about the dishes, like the elevated discs?
Here.
You know? Yeah.
Okay, but not the type of high ground that I like with Venture because of the drop off. Because you will fall off the high ground if you burrow, and then your hitbox will be active as you fall. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas when you
Yeah.
fall off here, you're more covered, and then there's obviously no fall off here. I just high ground is almost indiscriminately good, but there are some awkward high grounds where like for you to get here is open, and for you to leave here is also open as well, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like not, it's kind of exposed high ground, if that makes sense. I think this is kind of bait for pretty much everybody. Maybe Genji can kind of slide along here like a lizard, but like it's pretty awkward. Let's appreciate the beauty of this rotation from you. You start off here, you go, oh, like first point, they've backed away from me. Now that's great for your team. I want you to just take a moment to look at the setup for the angles here, right? You've choked these supports out. And then you also recognize, oh, gee, well, let me just go here. And now, you need to hit shots.
It's everything.
Yeah, you need to hit your shots. And actually, I think you rotating back here is bad. I think you just keep going. I think you keep going. I think you go here and you go, oh, shoot. You know what? I'm playing this game here. If we're going to play this game, I'm playing this game with you.
Like,
you get what I'm saying?
I should fight Cass here?
Correct. It sounds weird to say that because, like, oh, Cass, but this is the range that you would fight Cass. You understand what I'm saying? And what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen, right? He's going to roll Hinder. So that's why you're here. You hear the roll, you drop burrow immediately, or you drill dash out immediately, and then rotate your angle elsewhere. Because
there's a bigger problem, which is that I didn't even see the Cass.
I see, and so he's gonna smoke you. Well, see, that's exactly my point, though, right? It's like that was your angle to contest, and then now you're like, oh, I give up. I'm gonna go back here. But see, the problem with this is that you still can't reach anything.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I would rather you die contesting an angle that actually plays your effective range than to sit here, quote unquote, safe, poking at a distance that you're not actually doing anything. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem here. Like, we can go, oh, do you have your freaking audio on? But the more important problem is that you already recognize that this was too far. You see how close this is. You felt like, okay, actually, maybe this is uncontested, right? I mean, it looks uncontested when you last peeked it.
Yeah.
So keep going, right? Go to here.
Go in. Okay.
Yes, go in. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about Blizzard World, where I feel like in situations where you feel not worthless, but not doing a good job, it's probably because you aren't seeing the deep flanks as much.
Just go deeper and deeper.
The deeper. If it's uncontested and everything else is too far away here, too far away here, keep going. Keep going. Because you saw it, you see it. Oh no, he's pushing me? Well then, that's information you need to know. That's information you need to know. You walk here, worst case scenario, you could drill dash out this way, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things that you could do here, right? There's all sorts of things you could do here.
Better than doing nothing and then die.
Exactly. Because your initial rollout was space a la mode, right? There's so much of it. It's beautiful, right? I like this a lot from you. I like this a lot from you as well. Now you got to be ready to get out here, right? And this is where you got to be a little bit careful because you just blew both your CDs. But frankly, once again,
this I got robbed. I wanted to body block Winston and kill him.
I knew there's a reason.
Low with nothing, and then I clipped through him.
Yeah. Well, he's already moving through you, and so it just bugs out.
Yeah.
You also understand, like, you're at 60, 70 latency. That's not nothing here either. So I'll look at it from the overhead, right?
Yeah.
He's already turning and moving, and you're just a little to the side. So regardless, though, it's fine. That's a lot of value. Now we go back in, we keep shooting.
I like
Greedy, but I respect it. And this is where, like, the voices are going to tell you things, and sometimes you just have to listen. You see the opportunity, like you see the opportunities. Sometimes you just have to go. Like I think like that's totally fine with Venture. This is a little cheeky, but yeah, I like this rotation from you. I'm going fast, so if there's any questions that you have, let me know. But I feel like you're doing the right thing. So even here, it's like whatever. I actually think here, if it's against a non-lethal tank, I think you can
push him back down.
I think you just burrow.
Yeah.
I think you burrow and just see what, and then you make a decision from here. So you burrow here, and then you're like, okay, they're sitting here. So what do you do?
Honestly, I would rotate away from them.
So where would you go?
Like more. The Ashes, like try to get an angle on her.
So you would burrow here. Okay, they're on me. Drill dash here this way. 1, 2, pop out here.
Okay, that's a lot smarter than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
That's a little behind. I was thinking like the right of point.
Like here?
You see?
Yeah, like in here. Yeah, this is also good.
That's
like I think
nice, but
Yeah.
The deeper angle's better, I think.
I want you to think of congestion as healthy for you, essentially. Like you want something that's lots of corners and turns. So for you even here, you ready for something spicy? Burrow, drill dash this way, and go up here, or drill dash this way and go in here. Yes, just because of the congestion in this area, you know what would happen if they chased you. There is a chance that they kill you. But it's going to be really, really, really ugly for them this coming fight.
Yeah.
If they chase you, I think Ashe dies. I think Ashe dies, and you not only get a trade, but you give your team a lot of space. Like Venture, again, is one of those heroes that you're probably going to die a lot on. Sombra's another one, right? Like you're going to get high deaths, Doomfist, you're going to die, so you make it expensive. And the most expensive thing that you can do is start on a short angle and end on a short angle. So right here, the problem here is now that everything that you do involves a rotation, right?
I'm so glad I got this coaching. On Venture I basically live max. I'm like 3 deaths per 10 guy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm missing a lot of value because of that.
I agree. I think it's not that you always have to go for high risk, high reward. Not at all.
Yeah,
but you have to be willing to. Like, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
You break the rules here. You started short and you ended long. You see? You ended long. Okay? You see your positioning?
Yeah.
So you're on a longer
short angle on the Winston,
but a long angle from somebody else shooting you. So you're going to get poked out here. I want you to start short, end short. Start short, end short. Think about that Blizzard World first point high ground. Think about on both high grounds. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of what you to think about.
Start from a short angle, engage with drill and burrow, and disengage to a short angle.
Right.
Not
Exactly. If you're going to flank,
wet dream.
Correct. Exactly. So I mean, let's also. I also want to compliment you because maybe it wasn't the juiciest angle of all time, but when you were talking about disengaging, you did want to end here. Remember that? And this also checks. Right. This checks out. So.
It is a short angle.
It is a short angle, right? I mean, it is inconvenient. But you can see why this position doesn't work. Actually, this is actually okay, right? This checks the box too, right? It's when you do this that it doesn't check.
Perfect for cast.
This is not it, right? So this is when it doesn't work.
And I'm going to make it worse.
Right, exactly. I don't think what you're doing here is feeding your brains out. It just could be so much better, right? Like there's a reason that you're dying, right? This is fine.
If I was going to die, I could get a lot more from it.
Exactly. And obviously now it's just too late, so it's like whatever.
Yeah. Just leave.
This is fine. This is again where I really want you to just voices, If I saw this, I am going to kill this person.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen, and your Zarya is even heads up enough to give you bubble. Don't do this. Thank you. This is fine. Let him out. They gotta pay the tax.
Yeah.
This is all. Unironically, you could die here. Unironically.
Oh,
there
for sure, I do.
Right. Now, you could argue that, okay, the way I mismanaged my cooldowns, like, you were way more heads up on Blizzard World attack with your ult. Like, you were attentive to people giving you attention. But, man, just let them out.
Yeah. I think if I wanted to ult here, I had to go behind them.
Correct. You would do the exact same thing, but drop here. You got it. You nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember anything else from this game, so...
Yeah, we'll watch a tad bit more. I think for rollout max, I might be wrong with this, but I think if you don't have a clean drill dash out, which by the way I think you do if you just kind of, it's like Genji dash, you get the angle, you can just burrow first, and then you can control the drill dash more when you're in burrow, right? So you don't lose the momentum. Like I'm talking, it's like literally half of a second gain, but worth pointing out.
Okay.
But it's nice to see you actually like using.
This is awful.
I mean, whatever, it happens. Okay.
You can go.
No, I'm not going
anywhere.
Yeah,
where I am now is where I should have been earlier.
Correct. This is it. See, this is it, right? Like, this is what we want, right? If you die here, I'm okay with it. I really am. Like, they've committed. Yeah, they've committed. Right?
Okay.
Like you've made this expensive for them. Okay, that's it. You've made this expensive. You double CD committed, but it's a Cassie in a small room. He's got to die. If you can't trust yourself to at least blow a lot of it for resources, force res, and so on, then you can't play this character. You can't second guess yourself when the opportunity is there, right? It's fine. And your teammates are smart enough to follow up, right? And they won't always be smart enough, but more often than not, they will. This is fine because short angle and hit scan can't see you. That's the crucial difference, right?
Yeah.
So you can sit here all day long if you want. And this is crucial. You know that this is guy's gonna flank you, right? So you're ready for it. Okay, where is he? Nope, not there. Where is he? Oh, he's across. I drill dash across. I end from short angle to short angle. You notice that? So if I do get pushed here, I can still burrow. I mean, I don't want this to be like a glazing session here, but there are moments where things are done well, right? Like let's not lie.
I think I should have pumped.
I think you get greedy for the Winston kill. I'm gonna go ahead and assume. Yeah, again, voices, right? I can't hate. I can't hate. It makes sense. Guys, one. He forced primal.
Dropping off.
Short. Well, you had to, right? You fell off, right? Like you literally fell off. Okay, bro. Okay, so
I think if I held left, I could have stayed on.
Sure. Where do you need to be?
I need to
short
go
to short.
For a short angle where
short to short. Right.
I can't just pop out here.
Right. So where?
Left room could work.
Yeah,
behind
I think
them
so too.
could work.
I agree. Here is option 1. Option 2, probably not as good. Option 3.
Like
option 3 is probably the most conservative one here. Option
take risks, though.
4, you could pop out burrow here and drill dash out this way. I would prefer either here or here. I think maybe this one.
Yeah,
this is good. This is good. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good.
But
like it's not that deep. They blew 3 ultimates and you bobbed and Kitsune down 2. Wait, what the frick did this son of a gun? Wait, what did he do? That guy, freaking fake news, man. That was a good fight from you. Let's just be very clear, okay? Good fight.
Thank you.
Yep, good fight.
I will try to replicate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to go crazy. This is like good enough right here. Short angle. That's like actually like insane cooldown value.
Chasing me.
Yeah, and do you see what I'm saying? Like they're paying for this, right? The only problem here is don't give up post step 1. So like here, you get a little greedy with your drill dash. Okay, you cannot stay here. Like you cannot stay here. You must walk away and set it up again. Like they're now in a horrible spot for contesting this point, thanks to you. But don't allow them to get value by denying your setup, okay? So now, stop shooting. Move. Right? You should have died to that Ashe right there. There it is. Right?
Yeah.
So actually, everything's fine here. You're wasting your time running loops around them, and then you let your guard down. You need to keep going. You need to walk over here, set up, do it again. Waste your time again, right? Or set up this way. Waste your time again. You didn't do anything. You went from short to short and then stood around twiggling your thumbs.
Yeah, I waited for cooldowns when I could have set up.
That's the crucial thing because the irony is that you waited for cooldowns in the most dangerous spot possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Which does not help.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
getting shot from an Ashe from behind and Cass and Winston from the front.
That's it. That's it exactly.
A great place to wait for my.
Yeah, the setup is like not just about like setting up for a more offensive engage. It's about like I'm gonna bide my time in a safe spot, essentially.
Yeah.
So like this is safe. This is good. I'm not gonna lie with you, mate. I'm greeting this.
Stay up there.
I'm greeting it. If I see Cassidy here, then I think you drop. Maybe you did. I think you must have. Yeah. Okay. So never mind.
I did not. I guarantee it. I did not pay attention.
Whatever.
I just wanted to go behind.
To be honest with you, I'm still cool though, because short to short. Yeah. So this is fine.
Yeah, short to short.
Do it. Let it rip. Let it rip right now. Let it rip right now. Oh, you're crazy. This is good. Sure. I'm gonna be real. You're cooking. You're actually cooking. Yeah, you're cooking. I think the only problem I have here is once you've already seen bubble, don't pop here. It's not worth your time. Just go out this way.
Just go somewhere else.
Yeah, or even drop. Do the exact same thing here and do it again. Because you don't do anything to this guy, right? Like, look, his HP barely moved, right? So it's like, who cares? Don't give the bubble value by allowing him to zap with it, right? So you went short to short. It's okay. But I think once you see, like, bubble, just leave, right?
Wait, what happened to Bastion?
He killed himself with his own grenade.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's just standing there like
a
jackass.
I've been
like, I'm not going to lie with you. we've had, I would say, 2 or 3 fights here that you've pretty much tossed single-handedly, but your team is actual cheeks this game. Every fight that you're actually performing well at, they're actually completely trolling the lobby here. It's just horrendous. Like, your team's composition's gotten progressively worse and worse and worse as well. So you need to go from short to short. Okay? You need to go from short to short.
Yeah.
That's the crucial thing here, which might mean flanking when the map provides it. If you're too far, you need to keep rotating. And crucially, sometimes in your second CD cycle, you kind of like, you snooze out in us. Wake up, wake up,
Yeah.
wake up,
First
right?
CDs was great. Wait, before. Okay, I can still ask the question. Should
Yeah.
I shoot Primal there?
I mean, if it's the only thing you can shoot,
me
sure.
and my Zarya, he's
If
right
it's-
there. I can shoot the Primal. So shoot it?
Well, is there anything else to shoot? Because obviously you're not killing him, but if you can't
I'm
shoot,
not sure if
I
there
mean,
was...
what else are you gonna shoot?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I would say probably no, because once you burrowed, you now have your choice to reposition and you have ultimate, right? So
Yeah.
I think here the answer is no.
I can't ult Primal,
Correct.
but
Your
I
answer is
could
no.
ult someone else.
You could ult Ashe, right? Create space, take some pressure off of your team. I don't think that would have changed the result, because by the time that you would have gotten here, the Kiriko would have already been dead. But yeah, there's a general rule here. This is pretty brain dead from you.
Okay.
Just because you had other options, targets available. If that was
Yeah.
no CDs, then yeah, shoot the frick out of them. But okay, let's take a look at some Ashe here. Big thing with
Yeah.
you, short to short on your rotations. Keep hustling on those rotations, and don't forget verticality is essentially a second cooldown.
Okay.
Beyond that, I think there were some micro mistakes about, popping your ult on an angle. I think there was also mistakes about popping your drill dash too soon when targets were not low and or had defensive CDs, right? Genji was the big one, right?
Yeah. Drill dashing his deflect while he's full HP on
Yeah,
point.
that was something
It was
else. That
beautiful
was
to
something else.
watch.
But beyond that, I think the biggest thing with Sombra, Venture, these high risk, high reward characters is you're going to have days where you're locked in and focused and days where you're not. So you got to go back and be like, when I'm not locked in, what aspect of my gameplay slips? And it's your rotations. It's your rotations, right? You cannot afford to snooze with this character. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. I think I'm good for Venture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at some Ashe.
Ashe. My idea on playing Ashe is obviously long angle,
Yep.
dynamite backline if I can.
Any squishy
That's
that you can
juicy.
reach. I don't like the term
Save,
backline because
coach
that
down.
I don't like backline because that in terms down main back here. Backline would be Genji flanking you here or Tracer flanking you here.
Yeah.
Any squishy that is contesting you or that you can contest is dynamite roll.
I forget
That's
if you were the one who talked about this. I remember seeing a video about Ashe versus Genji and like holding your dynamite for the Genji. If you know he's coming after him.
Yeah, I mean if he's gonna contest you on that angle, then yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Missed coach gun here, which is kind of a bummer. That's just gonna come with time.
Oh, I can coach Winston off. Okay.
Yeah, you can just
That's
in
not,
the jump.
I've barely played this character. I
That's fine.
did not even think to
Yeah,
do
I'm
that.
gonna throw out like some Karq-esque
Please do,
tips and
please
tricks
do.
here, as we go
I
through.
need that for Ashe.
Okay, yeah. And I would say here, like, this is fine, but this is maybe a situation where you could also be peeking right at the same time. Like, your team is clearly putting resources on left, so then you need to be guarding the back door on right. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like,
Yeah,
you're going to
don't let
hold
them
high
take
ground
the
either
space
way,
on the right.
but let your vision be the angle here, right? So you're on high. We're not asking you to drop off high, but when your team left, you right. When your team right, you left. That's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to die here, it's to Genji. To on your right? You can kind of
Yeah.
feel it, right? And so don't let
Genji's
him
gonna
do
come
that.
to the right, dash at me
Correct.
if I get low. Roll
Yes,
me.
correct. Because the way to think about it is like from a support perspective, if Genji were to come at you from this left side, your team would know it and be there to support you. But
Yeah.
if they comes from the right, they might not even know it before you're dead.
So I need
So
to
it's-
stop him
Correct.
before the
Correct. And that's exactly what happened, right? That's exactly what happened. Just dynamite it. Really, this is
Should
where
I?
dynamite, you need to dynamite, yes. You need to
Okay.
dynamite. So why are you hesitating to dynamite? Because you sound like it's not a good idea. Why?
No, it's yeah, this is just I haven't played Ashe much. I
Sure.
didn't even think to dynamite her here.
Yep, just use it. Anytime it's a short angle, pop dynamite. It's your short angle tool, essentially, is what dynamite is. So what it will do, forces recall, it forces deflect, dash, whatever else. For a tracer without recall here, good news for you. Very good news. So don't go
Yeah,
for the
very
shot
good news.
first.
She's not
Go
gonna-
for the dynamite first. Dynamite first, and then go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's monstrous. Really good. Just late.
Should I be like forwardish here?
So this is where
They're behind me, right?
Okay. So this is the dilemma. Okay. So where is your long angle here?
I do not see one.
I don't see one either. So what
Yeah.
you have to do is you have to fight the short angle.
Okay.
If there's no good position for you, then you have to contest the people contesting you. So your
So
problem
I
here,
should look to take the high ground here.
no, because that's not
No?
necessarily. No, I would save your coach here and just sit and wait.
Oh, not
Shoot.
not coach to high ground. I mean just walk up the stairs.
Oh, well, maybe. I think it gets you closer to the Tracer Genji, which I don't necessarily love. I mean, the
Yeah.
Tracer does have to go up the stairs. But yeah, basically the idea is that there's somebody coming at you from the right. Your full attention needs to be on the right. The rule with Ashe is you are incredibly lethal when you're uncontested. When they contest you, though, you're incredibly fragile, so you have to give them respect. You're not giving these DPS respect right now because you're like, they're not diving me, so I'm going to go shoot the Winston and kind of stay in the open. No, you need to worry about this Tracer Genji. You have
Okay.
to. You have
Or
to.
get front line. My team has front line. Deal with these guys.
Correct. Again, if that Winston dives you from left, well, GG's. Like your team will see it coming. Your team will be able to support you. Again, this is what I'm worried about right here. It's not optimal.
Yeah.
We'd like you to be able to rotate to position where you're able to keep your distance on those characters, but you can't.
Ooh.
So you would need to sit like
Ooh.
here,
And-
something like this.
Yeah. Oh, put some distance between me and these guys
Correct.
where I can still watch them.
Yes. Correct.
And because I'm shooting Winston instead, they're gonna kill my Mercy.
that's just it, right? Like the way that you think about this is like, I don't want to do nothing here, but you got to ask yourself, what are they doing?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So
They're-
you sit
they're
here.
waiting
and
to kill me
Yeah,
or
you
something.
play to win this 2v1 or you play to live this 2v1, right? It's very similar to that Throne of Anubis venture, very first fight. Cassidy takes the angle. Let's say that you knew that he was there. You have to deal with that threat. You have to deal with that problem. You can't ignore it and
Okay.
shoot tank or shoot squishies. That is
Yeah.
there. If any DPS support or tank this decides that I'm going to take the fight with you, you have to take the fight with them. That's just an Overwatch rule.
Okay. Because if I don't, I'm letting them get value.
Correct. And
I
like
give
right
them
now,
my
like you guys,
angles.
you should have been dead like literally 6 years ago. And okay, the Mercy
Yeah.
pays for it eventually. Good dynamite,
Yeah.
really good dynamite.
But I need to look at Tracer here.
Yeah.
Because she's looking.
Yeah, and
for me.
so with the Genji out here too, this is also an ironically you could coach kind of top now actually, because now you can create space from everything, right? So you can create space here, create space here. So you don't have to be hovering here essentially. So create distance between yourself and enemy DPS threats through your angle, and then fight whoever's fighting you. Priority on them until they're out. Like this Genji was no longer a threat because you dynamited him, right? The intention there is as well, right? I mean, it's okay. It happens, right? That's a Spylo dynamite. So my name is now synonymous with poor execution. It's the best advertisement for my coaching ever. This is fine. Like, this is where, like, I actually kind of respect the fact that you're, like, aware that she's a threat. You're like, okay, I can't really deal with that. I need to deal with this. Like, you got stuck, but you know what's an even easier way to get stuck is to ignore the Tracer and keep shooting this.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
Yeah,
hindsight, like, you should have known, but yeah, it's whatever. Thought about it. Get top, please, because now you do have a long angle.
And then
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You retake it, and you clear her out, and then now I wouldn't chase. I really wouldn't chase unless you're confident you can get the kill.
tracing Tracers.
Yeah. Well, you got to count
a lot
blinks
faster.
and all that. You might go like, okay, she's got no
Oh,
blinks. I can kill this, But then also you're like, if she's out, that's now your responsibility to just go forward and just butcher people now. You've done your job. Go forward
Yeah.
and, like, reap the rewards, right? And then now
Sangle's
you
okay.
now you got to be thinking about Tracer, right? Like, where is that Tracer?
Yeah.
Because she's gonna get you soon. I'm gonna predict. Yeah, there she is. Right. Good try with the dynamite. I mean, if that hits Tracer, it's a big deal.
Should I bob here?
You should. Yeah. Only because
Okay,
the spawn's
yeah.
as close as it is. That's the only reason. And if you get one
Ah.
trade here, big deal. Big deal.
And
Like,
if I
think
just stall, at least we're even.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, yeah.
I hesitate on the bob because I wasn't sure, and they just get pick and.
if it makes you feel any better, I don't think it was an obvious answer. I think being down 2 discourages you, and that's a good, like, generally the case. Yeah. So I don't think it was dumb that you didn't.
Well, I'm still glad I asked.
Yep, it's fine. Good try the dynamite.
love
Like, I'm not really displeased with like a lot of the decisions that you're making. I think the only major strategy mistake that you make was that first point, right, where you just needed to put priority on dealing with. I mean, even that was fine. Putting priority on dealing with the threats that were contesting you, right? So, right now, you need to start thinking about where I want to go. Yeah. I would say Bob Dynamite Coach means that you can take this position here.
Pop.
So it's a little close,
Pop.
but you have Coach and Dynamite. You're going to Coach gun up, you're going to have Dynamite, you're going to Bob. If the Genji dashes, you have Dynamite. You're okay.
Yeah. Instead,
I don't hate this, but it's just a much worse sightline.
Yeah. I'm right in front of people.
Right, and so what ends up happening is the bomb becomes a much more reactive Bob than it is a proactive Bob, which means you don't quite get the angle that you wanted on, right? You didn't get the set it up where you wanted him to be. It actually does a pretty good job because you actually stop a couple members of your team from getting staggered because of that Bob. But yeah, okay, where should you be? This is not good.
I could go to the right. There's
You got it.
that cover.
That's a good, nice angle, nice long angle, right?
Maybe I could go high ground.
Nice long angle.
That's
But why?
close.
Why? But it's also, look at your vision, right?
It's good vision. Yeah.
I actually disagree.
I'm worried about the Genji coming up
I
here.
disagree. I actually think the vision's quite bad. I'm messing with you.
Well, I can see Juno.
I like this here, but you can see so much more here, right?
This is pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay.
That's definitely my first choice, going right here.
Yeah, so I think a good rule for Ashe is like when you're trying to increase the aggressiveness of your position, swing, don't push. You know?
Okay.
Swing.
Can I ask about this? I can see Winston here.
Yep.
But should I rotate for a better sightline?
What's the value of a better sightline here? So you go to here and you have a slightly better sightline for sure. Like, right?
I can contest
but it's more
the
than
tracer from taking that angle.
Correct. But it's more than that. It's even more than that.
I can shoot Winston if he backs up.
Correct. But it's even more than that. If I'm Winston here, Merry Christmas with this jump and bubble.
Yeah.
If I'm Winston here, I have to make a choice. You understand?
Okay. So instead of hitting 3 people, he's choosing between 2. Yeah.
Yes. And if he jumps you coach gun back to your angle and you get support, and your supports are free. Make them choose.
Okay.
You have a nice sight lane here, but you could have had both, along with all the other advantages that you listed. Yes, thank you. I mean, it's mechanics, but listen. I can
call me Spylo.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I can live with that, right? I can live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good dynamite.
My
Good dynamite.
teammates complained that no one was shooting Tracer this game, and well, I was.
Well, there was lots of shooting Tracer. Yeah, I mean, this is good. Like, this is where like Ashe is super easy, right? You hold the angle, you shoot. The dynamite was good.
No one's pressuring me, and I just
lots of damage. And then again, we got a question about whether you can take top, and I think this is good. Only thing you'd have to be aware of is this is where you would have to ask yourself, is there anybody on right? You know, so that, again, like first one, I have to deal with them. I don't think there is, but do it.
Dynamite back?
Yeah, dynamite backline, and then you need to coach gun and rotate. Coach gun and rotate. Don't stay here. Rotate out back and get right, and or get here. You need to get a cover.
Should I go left here?
No.
This angle's kind of tight.
Too tight,
close?
And this would only work if you had dynamite, right? Because of the tightness.
Yeah,
dynamite
there's no point in being here if I'm not going to blast everyone.
Correct.
Okay, so just go to the right.
And so we've kind of floated. And so now this becomes basically too little passive pressure for too long. Okay, let's stop there. We haven't taken notes for Venture. I hope that you've been taking some mental notes, and I would recommend actually physically writing some stuff down. And we're going to do the same for Ashe, okay? Give me 3 things for Ashe. Big, little. I'm just arbitrarily picking 3 because I think that's a good number.
I need to pay attention to the people who are pressuring me.
Yes, take an angle.
Give them attention, fight them.
Correct. Take an angle. If they fight you, priority. Keep going.
I want to take long angle, wide. Swing it out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Give me a micro detail here then.
Micro detail. Bob sooner, right? Proactively.
Yeah. Yes. The world stops when you have Bob. Bob literally dictates. Bob dictates your angle. We'll go as far to say that essentially. Bob dictates how you position. Yeah, Bob?
So I want to... Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
Questions? Should I hit the aim trainer? Vaxa between games, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Get comfortable with it. Check your scope sensitivity. I think there's like a calculator out there that tells you the proper one. And then just get some reps in. Most of your failures were mechanical. I think your dynamites were fine.
Yeah.
Certainly the concept of your dynamites were fine, right? The idea of what you're trying to do was correct. So, yeah. Okay. Any questions?